Yes, so guys, I'm back again, and this time we are talking about which team will make the top four finish in the English Premier League for the 22 and 23 season. Well, my take on this is that I feel like Chelsea still stand a chance of making the top four, but if we are being realistic concerning who could be able to make the top four for this season, we should be talking about Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United, and probably in between Newcastle United and Tottenham. But anything can happen. Anything can happen, really. A lot can change in just 5 games in a row. Everything can just change totally. But we can start now by talking about the fourth position. As still stand right now, the fourth position is being challenged by Tottenham and Newcastle United, who are obviously the least better of the top four teams. And it has been a tough fight for both of them, which they are still hanging on and holding on so tight to make sure that they don't lose that position, because they know they have other teams trailing them at the back, and any possible mistake they could be overtaken by them, and I'm sure none of them want that to happen by any means possible. So, but if we are saying who could finish at number 4, then my bet would be on Newcastle United. They have been actually playing more as a collective team than any team in the Premier League. Nobody expect them to establish themselves that quickly after a new owner took over last season and started making the change, which they were, as at last season, struggling to move out of the relegation zone, which they were able to come out of. But this season has been a totally different one for them, and they are hoping they can make top 4 finish in the English Premier League, which is very possible to make happen if they continue with their good form of play and kind of football that they are playing. Now, we move to the number 3 position. The number 3 position right now is being occupied by Manchester United, who are actually the shocker and the surprise team for this season. Their run has been shocking and surprising to so many. They began the season losing back-to-back games, which were unexpected to make happen despite the new change that they brought in a new manager in Eric Ten Hag, who was the former manager of Ajax Football Club. But as of today, they are doing so well, and they are one of the best teams so far for this season. Their unbeaten run was recently stopped by Arsenal, who are number 1, and it wasn't an easy game. They had to drag it until the match ended 3-2 with a late goal, which helped Arsenal to overcome Manchester United for that match day, and they claim all 3 points to ensure their spot on the table is still intact. Then it hasn't been that easy for them also, as the termination of Cristiano Ronaldo contract might actually be what is helping them as of this point in time. They currently sit at number 3, and they are hoping to make a top 4 finish by any means possible, which is now looking likely with them already done with half of the season, and they are still at number 3. Then we move on to the second spot, the number 2 spot. The number 2 spot, which is also looking hot for Manchester City, who have been fumbling in their recent games. Manchester City have been struggling a lot, despite them having Erling Haaland, who has been scoring for fun. Wow, the Premier League is indeed a rat race that you might be thinking you have all it takes to win the league, but other teams just come from nowhere and flush you away. That is what is happening to Manchester City. They're actually doing their best, but it's not working out that well for them, as Arsenal are proving to be a thorn in their flesh by making sure their unbeaten run keeps going on. Although this season, Manchester City have been able to overcome Arsenal, but it was in the cup tie. But in the league, they have not. But now, Manchester City are fighting hard, and they have more enough chance of stamping their place at second place, as the number 1 place right now seems like they can never reach there with the way Arsenal are going. But they are trying their best to make sure that it is possible for them to meet up and to at least win the league title, which is impossible, because with the way the rates at which other teams are making addition to their team, while Manchester City have failed to make any addition, it will be very hard for them to continue their dominance, which have been there since the last 5 seasons. But Manchester City are still a good team though. You can't take anything away from them, as they have shown that they can make goals happen from anywhere. Even if Erling Haaland is being stopped, other players can make something happen in a game. Then there is no doubt about Manchester City not finishing top 4. They can finish top 4. But the thing is that we are not sure that they can win the league title this season with the way Arsenal are going. And if care is not taken, another team might overtake Manchester City at their number 2 position. Then we move to the number 1 position, which is certain as of now. It's certain that Arsenal is never dropping down. They are not dropping down for anybody. But we don't know, anything can happen. They might actually be knocked down, because we have seen it happen over and over again. When Arsenal can be cruising, and all of a sudden they start having injury worries and different kind of issues, which eventually they drop down. But this season isn't looking like that, as they have continued to remain very strong and solid, and they also want to ensure that they are able to win the league title by any means possible, which they have shown by going deep in the transfer market to make some major moves. And the addition of Jorginho from Chelsea could be the fixed points they need, as Jorginho have a lot of experience and could also give their team a good depth. His experience will count a lot, but it depends on how far he is quickly to adapt with their own playing style, which is not the same as Chelsea. Or we can say it could be the same. They actually play some attacking football, I think. But Arsenal are a bit more passing. Well, it's still the same thing. He could adapt quickly. But only time can tell if Arsenal can actually win the league. Only time, I say, can tell. Only time. And once again, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.